...2025 is the year for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlords. Now, as many of you know, here at the Critically Curious, we have covered this game extensively with over 100 videos. And while coverage have been both on the PC and the console, I think it's fair to say that I have mostly covered the console as much as possible. I do try to do as much console information, news, tips, guides, all that kind of jazz as possible for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlords. And we have been content dry now within this game for a while. We have had like no significant update or anything like that for a long time. However, all of that is about to change. Now, you may have seen the announcement of War Sales. That is the very latest and the first ever DLC/expansion of this game. Now, that is not only for PC, but for console as well. And more excitedly, that actually comes out at the same time. Yes, that's right. We are getting an expansion at the same time as PC, and I think that's just absolutely awesome. More importantly, what it's actually going to do for all those console players is that it's going to bring the current version up to date with the PC version. And now the PC have a lot of access to, the game has changed massively over the last few, patches and updates over on PC, and it's going to be really interested to see console just jump up so much. And that's even without the DLC and the expansion. That's without that completely. We're gonna get a massively updated game, which means even if you don't go ahead and get War Sales, and I do understand, some people don't want to dive into DLCs, and I totally get that, but our base game on console is gonna update massively and change our game, make it more enjoyable, make us want to dive back into it. Now, personally, I am stoked for War Sales. I think it's just going to add so much. I love the idea of, the Vikings, kind of invading the continent, or the Nords as they're going to be called. It is a Viking-inspired empire that's going to be, joining us. That new faction, the new king, the new troop types that we're going to be getting along with them, because I'm assuming they're going to have their own unique troop types. So therefore, the meta over who has the best troops is about to change. I'm assuming they're going to be having their own gear as well, their own unique design of armor. So that's also going to be interesting for us, because a few of us do like to collect. We like to collect the rarest, bestest armors out there. So I think that's kind of going to be interesting. And I'm assuming they're going to be having some unique weaponry as well, or preferred weaponry that again is going to be adding to our own unique playthroughs as well. There's also a new land mass coming, which again I think is going to be really interesting to kind of explore and to just see how it changes. There's going to be an extra area for us to conquer, if nothing else. But if all of that isn't exciting enough, we're going to be getting naval combat with that. Now, I think that's just so cool. The idea that they're going to be able to, launch our ships and have an armada go, 1v1 or 10v10 on those ship battles, but not only have unique ship battles, but be able to board other ships, enemy ships, capture enemy ships, have ship-to-ship combat, have ship boarding combat, be able to fire off a ballistic from, my ship to the other ship, launch fire arrows at those ships, target masts, have tactical ship battles. I couldn't be more excited. The fact that we're going to be able to now build up a town, have it be a bigger and better and open trade routes, have there be trade winds, So I guess it means that, you know, we're going to set up certain trade routes and it's going to be time based, a bit like caravans, you know, how they kind of go around from port to port. I think that's also going to add an extra element of strategy to our game. And more importantly, wealth, or at least the prospect of being able to get a lot more wealth. Because I think it's safe to say that during the late game, being able to get enough money quick enough is a problem unless you go down into that smithing route. I just think it's really cool to know that there is, you know, something on the horizon which is so soon to be released. June 17th isn't a million miles away. That is just around the corner that this DLC is going to be dropping, and being able to allow us to jump in or back in to this game with fresh eyes for the first time as console players for a very long time. Because of course, if you are over on PC, you can download mods, and there are a awful lot of cool mods for anyone that hasn't played this game before, because you may just be tuning in, you maybe, you know, maybe you follow my Crusader Kings free content or something like that. Mountain Blade 2 is an amazing game. It is an amazing game that you can spend hundreds upon hundreds of hours in, you know, building up your own character, establishing trade routes, becoming a smith, building up your own kingdom, managing wars, or perhaps you just want to become a tourney knight. You're able to do it all here at Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlords. However, if you're lucky enough to own a PC and buy this game over there, you're able to do oh so much more. There are mods that pretty much let you do almost anything these days. The modding community have been running rampant over the last few years, creating some absolutely amazing mods that allow people to stay in this game for a really long time. But unfortunately, us over on console, we've had to wait out, or should I say, you know, ride through a desolate desert of just no content, no updates, no information at all for such a long time. To know that console is about to update, it's just so huge. Not to mention, they did also say that they are working on other DLCs and expansions as well. So I think that's kind of awesome. I think it's the future of Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlords is looking very promising indeed. So if you are playing on console or perhaps PC and you want to be kept updated about what's happening to the game that you love, then drop us a like, drop us a follow, and stay tuned, because we're going to be covering Mountain Blade 2 for a very long time. But I've been a Monk, we have been a Critic Hulis, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming. And for your viewer enjoyment, I'm just going to leave you a slight video of me looking like a pincushion. Ah, pincushion simulator. What joy it is.